Ben and Davison with the EuroHooplife podcast. Angelo, we're going to be talking specifically about Division 3. Everyone thinks Division 3, you're thinking the bottom rung of basketball, but in France, is that the case?
No, it's not at all. Actually, Division 3 is an extension of the second division. So you understand, France has literally Pro A, Pro B, then the third division called National 1, then they have National 2 and National 3. And you find guys that actually get paid in National 3. So, and the main thing is the National 1 is a division that I thought was truly meaningful to talk about because it's an extension of Pro B. You can still earn a good living.
What would you say the monthly salary would be? Between $2,000 to $5,000 a month?
Yeah, I think that for an American, you can get between 2,000 to 3,000, maybe go to 4,000 for ambitious teams. Yes, easily.
So, what team are we to talk about specifically? And did you have
two
a team?
Teams. Yes, two teams. We're going to talk about Saint Vallier. That was the second team that I played for professionally back in 2009, 2010. At the time, they were used to be in Pro B, in second division, but now they dropped category, but they're one of the main contenders every year in third division. They're in that bubble, try to move back up to Pro B. They actually have the legacy of their years because they had about 6-7 years in Pro B, so they have history of high level.
So they have a taste. They just want to get back there.
Yes, exactly. So they haven't been able to do it. They went to the Final Four 2 years in a row. They're right in that bubble. They have great fans. They have a really good gym. They have a good structure. They are professional. And that's the reason why they're deserving of this podcast, because it's a team where it's not going to be as straightforward financially as other teams because the president does some under the table paying, but you get all of the money that you sign for.
I don't care if it's on the table or under the table, as long as you get it all. I've had teams like that where you have to actually set up a tax structure. They'll say you're making $200,000. Here's $100,000, and then we're going to send you another $100,000 that we can't show tax burden of.
Exactly.
So
it's more so to help them. It's more so to help them not pay as many charges and taxes as they would if they were full salary. But whatever contract that you guys agreed upon, which is a legal binding contract. And as I explained many times, when you sign a contract in France, you're guaranteed your money. So that's the beauty of it.
What's the city like?
Yes, the city, very small, extremely small.
Like 15,000 people kind of thing?
That kind of city.
Okay.
Yes, 1,000 people, that kind of city. Truly fanatic about their team. So even though it's a 15,000 people city, you're going to have 3,000 people in the gym. So that's one of the main things that's interesting about that. If you're only trying to make a name for yourself, you're focused on basketball and you're grinding and you're trying to just not worry about anything, great idea. That's a great setting because it's a good quality league. It's a way for you to maybe make a name for yourself, get to the Pro B level the year after, and if you keep on that scale, move to greater things in Europe, or maybe make a career in France. And
it's a great first stepping stone for you to get your feet wet, go over there.
Because I'm thinking like the podcast can't only be for the higher end elite players.
Absolutely.
You have solid college players that are deserving of an opportunity to play in Europe, but not everybody has a shot at going in Pro A or Pro B. So how about grinding it out and still playing in a league where it's professional? Because if you go second or third division in other European countries, it's going to be a shit show. You go in third division in France, it's literally being treated and handled the way most Pro B teams are. That's why it's interesting to talk about third division in France.
And it sounds like you're also saying, like, even if you come from Netherlands, or if you come from Romania, Hungary, Austria, and you said, hey, I didn't really like this experience. It wasn't exactly what I was looking for. Come division. You may say, I'm not in Division 1 in a smaller country, but I'm in Division 3 in France. You're still taking a step up in your quality of play and recognition.
Division 3 in France is literally almost second division.
It's
almost.
Legit. You're giving it a 2 thumbs up.
Almost there. Yes. The league structure little bit weird because they play with two different conferences, so you have a lot of teams. You have many more teams than you would have in first or second division. And the way they go about it is that you play a first regular season, and then based on your ranking, you're being put in another conference that is now playing for the
NAIA compared to NCAA double tournament kind of situation.
kind of like that. Yes, it's like two conferences. Top forces of each conferences make it to the next conference, which is the one playing for the title and the spot in Pro B. The other ones play for rankings, and the other play for the right to stay in the division.
Okay.
The second team that I want to talk about called Boulogne-sur-Mer, SOMB. And SOMB, once again, is a team that had a long tenure in Pro B. It's a team that I played for 2 years that even made it to Pro A, as we won the national championship back in 2014. They unfortunately did not recruit well, and they did not build a team that was capable of staying in first division, so they dropped back down to Pro B, and then within another 2 years they dropped to third division, unfortunately.
That's got to be disappointing to have that momentum going for you and then just making a couple of detailed situations, and you just never know what you're going to get or the dedication of certain players that you can draft or whatever.
Yes, exactly. So that's why building the team and also trying to have that group of guys that you can just keep around that will have the system within their core and teach the new guys coming in. The main problem about Europe and France that is no exception to that is the turnover of players is so big. You're always starting from scratch. Almost.
Are you saying that is all of France or is that Division 3? Because I
all
know
of
if you
France,
go to like Venezuela, you could come downstairs, you have 36 and you have 24, and then you have one game with 15. Next thing you know, you come downstairs and there's an American sitting right there. It's like, hey, what's up, man? And it's like, hey, so come over here, we'll talk to you. You're on the next thing smoking. Is it like that in France also?
You don't have that wild, you're going to get cut every 2 week kind of feeling. Also knowing that your contract is guaranteed and all these things. So you don't just get cut like you could get cut in Greece or Venezuela or anywhere else because it's freestyle and what are you going to do kind of thing.
Yeah.
In France, it's like, okay, if they want to cut you, they're more than likely going to have to negotiate with you buyout. And the standard buyout in France is that you get 2 to 3 months salary. Okay. So you see, if you get cut, you get 2-3 months. So that gives you time for you to find another team, and they're quite solid on that. And that's the beauty of the French system once again.
Awesome.
So that team, SOMB, once again, one of the best teams in National 1, ambitioning to move back up to Pro B. So, and it's a better structure overall than Vallier that I just talked about because great arena, weight room in the arena, great medical staff, all around. You have access to an osteopath, chiropractor, trainers, so it's great.
So if you're a basketball head and a gym rat, it's going to be a perfect location for you to be able to dedicate your time to basketball. But if you're looking for a nightlife, don't go to this team. Well, as a professional athlete, you shouldn't be looking to be a rodman and have a nightlife.
But I tell you one thing. I mean, the main thing is this: you can have balance, and I don't think that we all need to be homebodies, staying at home, watching Netflix. You can have a life where you can meet people, being social, going out. Just have to be understanding of what is the best thing for my health. If you're going out 3 times a week, now your game is feeling the drop because you have no energy, or you're bound to get hurt because your body is not being fueled the way it's supposed to.
Yep.
And now they're looking for another guy to fill in your spot. That new guy coming in plays better than you, figures out the system. You're going to be cut. And that's the end of the story. So you're in control of that. And you have to be accountable when it comes down to being a professional. So I do not mind teammates going out. I just think there is a right balance.
Yep.
Anything in excess will always be a problem. Chocolate is good, but if you eat chocolate like a crazy man, it's not going to be good.
Exactly.
So that's the main thing. The last thing that I would say about those two cities, Vallier is in the center part of France. Once again, about 50 minutes from Lyon, and Boulogne-sur-Mer is in the north part of France. It's near Lille, another one of those big French cities.
Yep.
It's about a 2-hour train ride from Paris and a 2-hour drive from
So
Paris.
you're going to be on the
So
outskirts of it, but you're always going to have access if you get a day off,
yeah,
2 day off. You
and
and the wife can go off and have a
Boulogne-sur-Mer,
little vacation.
yes, yes. Boulogne-sur-Mer is very nice because they have an aquatic museum, and they are border of the sea.
Awesome.
So and you have Calais half an hour away, which gives you a direct train access to England. So
Oh,
that's pretty cool. So these are two professional teams that are playing in third division now, that have history with the second division. They both ambition to move back up to Pro B, so they are solid structures when it comes to making a name for yourself, but still competing to championship and access a higher league. So something to consider for players that may not have the same kind of credibility coming out of college, but still believe in themselves and want to make a name for themselves. I think that it was important for us to talk about France's third division because it's still relevant enough that it should be talked about.
Perfect. Angelo, I'm going to wrap up this podcast, and we're going to put your name, and people can reach out to you. I would say you're the number one source of information if anybody wants to talk about France. So
and Greece, France and Greece, you can talk.
Greece. I'm gonna start. You're gonna start charging people 50 euros per conversation. It's understandable in times like this. Angelo, thank you for your time and your information.
You're very welcome, brother. Take care.